flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community with great advice. I know who I should go see. So around town radio show.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a nooner here at All Around Town Radio, and I got some special guests today. We're talking Oakley Beer Fest at noon here on a Wednesday, and we're going to get right to it because we've got a lot to talk about. Bill down there in the corner, as he's known as Bacchus Entertainment right now. Bill, let's get started and talk about this great event you've got going on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit.
It's our second annual event. We're calling it Oakley Beer Fest. Last year we were at Ocean, which was fantastic. We moved down the street to the Element Eatery. We're going to call it the Festival Grounds, where we have just almost an unlimited amount of space. Not to mention we have a 30 by 30 stage, so we're able to do some full bands as opposed to just acoustic. We are starting off with acoustic. We've got Brad and Ryan, Hillary Hahn, the Bronson Arroyo Band. We're going to have over 30 breweries with over 70 flavors to try. So a little bit of something for everyone, from Mad Tree to Brink Brewing to Great Lakes to Toxic is coming down from Dayton. We got Saucy Brew Works and Brew Kettle coming from Cleveland. There's lots of cool stuff. I mean, we've got Kickstand coming, Funny Water, Floral Beverage. So there's a little something for everybody. Even if you're not a huge beer fan, you just want to come listen to some good music, enjoy a nice day out. Truly's going to be there, Twisted Tea, Angry Orchard, Northwood Cider Company. I mean, we've got just if you check out the Oakley Beer Fest page, you can see the full lineup, and the full beer list is already out. So anything that you want to try, from sours to IPAs, we've got a couple lagers. It's going to be really, really cool. And it's about double what we had last year.
That's crazy, man. If I went around and just taste tested all those, I think I'd be messed up for the day. That's a lot of people joining this thing. And like you said, you've got music too. You've got a big event going. It's going from 2 p.m. till I saw 11:30 at night. Is that right?
Yeah, so the beer festival per se, the last pour will be 8 p.m. And that's when the Bronson Arroyo Band will end. And then as soon as we can switch over the stage, Brad and his band Audio Graffiti will play us until close. So Element Eatery does have 9 restaurants inside and a full bar. So the idea would be when Bronson's over, everyone go inside, eat, grab a cocktail, let us clean up the festival area, and then come back outside and party with Brad and Audio Graffiti. So
perfect. Well, Brad, I've had you on the show before, so I'm gonna wait on you for a minute. Don't take offense to that, but I'm gonna go up here to Ryan, who's gonna be playing the show as well. And Ryan, you're coming up from Nashville, right?
Yeah, I'm originally from here. I grew up in Ludlow, Kentucky, so I spent a lot of my time between Nashville and Cincinnati area. For sure, got to know Bill over the last few years, and first year joining the Oakley Festival lineup, and looking forward to supporting it for sure.
Absolutely. And give us a little bit about your musical style for those that may not know you up in this area on the show.
Yeah, I've got a couple records out. I'm a singer-songwriter as well as an artist. So my original stuff is kind of like the roots, country rock. And then, but when I play cover stuff, I play classic rock, country, a little bit of everything. So, I mean, tomorrow or Saturday, you're going to get a little bit of everything from me. So I'm sprinkling some of my originals along with, everybody's top favorite songs they like to hear. So.
Absolutely.
I'm also going to have a guy on viola playing some strings with me, and Matt Ryan will be with me. So we'll have a little duo acoustic thing going.
Nice.
Perfect. And Brad, you're going to be playing 2 different ways, right? You're doing the solo thing, and then obviously Audio Graffiti at the end of the night, wrapping the thing up. And I've seen Audio Graffiti numerous times, guys. I will tell you, they are a top-notch band. If you've never seen them, this is a good chance to go see them and enjoy a good day of festivities there. Brad, tell me a little bit about what you guys are going to be doing and what you're going to do solo there at the show.
Well, I normally call myself music ADD. It's just a myriad of whatever comes to mind. I don't even know that I take a lot of requests and things like that, but I try to read the room basically. But man, my music taste is varied. Like I grew up on a lot of Motown and soul, and so I've got a base of that. I grew up trying to sing like Prince and Michael Jackson, which you can't, but you try. And but then moved on through grunge and 90s rock and alternative, and then in the last so many years with country being the big thing, I picked up just a ton of country music as well, and so it's pop, rock, country, soul, whatever I can think of. And the band is kind of similar, and that's kind of how I designed the band, was to be something for everybody. So it's I always say that we can please everybody at least once. So
perfect. And Ryan, and both of you guys, I know Ryan, you're going to be doing some covers as well. Is that correct? Yeah. Along with your originals?
Yeah. We about half and half or so. So I blend in there, and guys, I'm like Brad, just kind of like I read the crowd a little bit for the most part. I kind of have that list set, and then if they're not, just kind of redirect. I like to play a little bit of everything when it comes to music as well. So.
Do you guys find it easier when you do these events to kind of just go on the fly and read the audience versus having a set in stone set list?
For me, there's a running joke with people I play with that I bring a set list, but they essentially put it in the trash when I hand it to them. I really, there's times I swear I try to have a set list. I just can't do it. So yeah, it's kind of a joke that I even try to make a set list. It doesn't, I can't do it. I have to go on the fly. That's just how I work.
I get a lot of that too, even with just like the whole, like, I want to just run on, change a song like midway through a song. Kind of, I just kind of, band's got to jump on.
Yeah, I went to a show the other night where the same thing happened, Brad. A guy brought the set list to the band right before they started, and one of the guys, the keyboard player, I think he took it, just crumpled it up and threw it off the stage. He's like, "We're not going to do that."
Pretty much,
yeah, that's pretty much where it was.
But I like that challenge, though.
Yeah, and that's why I want these guys to be on stage having fun. You know what I mean? I don't want them there performing like robots. I want them having fun. I want people to scream, "Hey, I want to hear Luke Combs," or "I want to hear some Michael Jackson," or whatever it is. I want people to be there and just have a blast. And I don't want robots on stage. I want people having fun and having fun themselves. So,
well, you had a hell of an event last year. I mean, you did. We talked about it on the show, and you had an incredible event. And it sounds like you've broadened the scope of this a little bit more this year. You've got a lot more room and a lot of high energy acts that are going to be there. And Bronson Arroyo, I mean, that's a good one too. And that's going to be one that'll be a crowd pleaser. I've seen him play numerous times. And if you like Pearl Jam, I think Bronson will definitely bring that to the stage for real.
Yeah, definitely. Last year was great. Oakley Kitchen was fantastic. Their upstairs event space is amazing. But being indoors, it was limited. When you bring a 10 by 10 tent from the brewery along with their 6-foot table and jockey box, you can only fit so many of them there, and then still have room for a stage and an act and so forth. Where, now being down at Element Eatery on their kind of festival grounds, really we've got basically a football field worth of space to work with, and we've filled it up. We've like I said, we've got over 30 brewery and spirits. We've got 4 musical acts. We've got Fulling Warehouse is bringing some of their balls and pins down to throw. Northwood Distillery is bringing some games. CSL is bringing a hydration station. The Cincy Hat by Ted Karras is going to have hats there. We got other vendors like Moonshine Fudge, EF Creations, Aeroleaf, Nutterific. I mean, we've got some other cool stuff, not only just music, beer, booze, but, we've got a cheese spread coming. We've got Moonshine Fudge coming. We've got Origin, which is like barbecue sauce and other kind of whiskey flavored sauces and spreads. So we've got a lot of cool stuff coming down. And, of course, Sam Adams is sponsoring a Steinhoist competition. The Steinhoist is free to anybody with a ticket. First prize is a VIP package to Oktoberfest on Sam Adams, which if you've ever been to the Sam Adams tent at Oktoberfest, it's pretty badass. Second place is going to be a Yeti cooler, and third place is a Sam Adams neon. So some pretty cool prizes. So the full lineup for the bands is on our Oakley Beer Fest event page. It's also on the Cincy ticket link. Bronson's band, just to mention that comment that just popped up, they're going to start around 6:30.
Perfect. All right. Well, we got a lot going on, a whole lot happening here. And does anybody else think Bill sounds like a NASCAR driver there, giving all his sponsors? I mean, he's rolling that off his tongue like in the Chevrolet, this and that, and all that stuff. He's got it down.
Stage.
Those are just the vendors. I mean, I'll take a second to do the sponsors. I mean, our sponsors are Sam Adams Brewing, Red Dog Pet Resort, CSL, Kickstand Cocktails, Robert James. And of course, Richard Kitchen, Family Insurance. But of course, it's all benefiting Cincinnati Animal Care. So what we'll do for them is they always need cheese and hot dogs. So we'll run to Sam's Club sometime next week and buy up all the cheese and all the hot dogs and take it down to Corinth Avenue to help them with their doggies. On top of giving them a nice check, based on how many tickets we sell. So. Always nice to help
tickets. Let's talk about tickets. Ticket price. You can get them in advance on cincyticket.com till Friday, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. CINCY ticket.com, cincyticket.com. It's only $45. That includes all the music. It includes 10 beer tickets. And of course, we also have a snack center for you and a hydration station. So there'll be free bottles of water, there'll be free pretzels, and then you get 10 tasters. So 10 5-ounce beers. So you'll get a pretty good idea to taste anyone. And if you want to buy more beer, you can buy 10 more for only $20.
That's a deal. That's a steal, people. Hear that. Hey, if you're watching today, guys, throw us a comment in there, if you will. If you're watching after we're live, Bill will monitor this. He'll have it on his page, and he'll answer your questions. So if you have any questions about Oakley Beer Fest, doing it. And Kara says, thank you for helping the dogs. So there we go. And thank you, Roger, for being here. We know at noon it's a crappy time sometimes to do a live one, but we'll get it out there to everybody. And I want to hit on music because that's what we talk about on this show. And I hit on that. Ryan, I'm going to go up to you. Give me a little history about Ryan and tell us about where you said you grew up in this area, but now you're in Nashville. You're signed to a label. Is that correct?
No, I'm not. No,
Not a label.
I'm an independent artist.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of got late to the game. Always loved music. Was a big sports guy, high school growing up. I loved listening to music, attending music. Finally started playing and performing and teaching myself around the age of 26. And but I barely knew 2 chords, and I was trying to write pretty low hanging fruit songs. So, but yeah, I fell in love with performing. I started playing around town, and just eventually ventured my way down to Nashville. The last 5 years. I've been splitting time back and forth here recently, and just put out my second EP last year. So I've got some music out there on Spotify and all your streaming platforms. Definitely love for everybody to take a listen. I love doing cover shows as well, and I do a lot of those around town. So give me a follow and come check me out one night, and definitely come see me on Saturday, man. It's going to be a lot of high energy and ready to have a good time.
Well, we've got it at the bottom of the screen. If you want to follow Ryan, we'd ask that you do that, guys. And he's coming up to play here this Saturday and going to be part of the great lineup that Bill's put together here, including Brad down there in the corner, Brad doing solo, and then his band Audio Graffiti, who I can't recommend enough. They are a top-notch band in the Cincy area, and they're playing all over. I live through you, Brad, when you go to Key West and play there, though, man. That's kind of the ultimate gig, I think. And what a built-in crowd you got down there too.
Not too bad. Yeah. If you have a choice, I mean, why wouldn't you? So yeah, actually that's where we're going next week. So
do you guys have real jobs? Any of you?
I mean, the money's pretty real.
You have a real job?
No. Yeah, I'm gonna. The haters are gonna come out of the woodwork on me saying that because music is a real job, and there's a lot of full-time musicians. I get it, but I can't imagine with the way you guys travel and do how anybody in your band could hold down a gig other than the music gig. It's got to be a little tough scheduling that.
It is, and I've always said, in a band, it's not just can you play. It's Are you available? Do you want to do this? Are we on the same page? Do I like you? I mean, it's just, there's a million other, the assumption is we can all play. It's, if I want to travel, I need to find a band with bandmates that are available to travel. So, we go to Myrtle Beach, we go to Fort Lauderdale, we go to Key West. We do a lot of regional travel, from Detroit to St. Louis to Lexington, Louisville, Indy, are you available to do that? Do you want to do that? It's not everybody does. It's hard to find guys that want to do it, but, for me, I'll do it solo or with a band. I'll travel either way, but I enjoy having the band, and I've found guys that enjoy doing it. So, if you can go play down the street or you can go play in Key West, I'd rather go play in Key West. So.
Well, yeah, who wouldn't, right? And, Brad, you guys have played a lot of big events. Roll a few of those out again for people that may not know. You guys have been on the stage in some pretty prominent places and bigger events. So if you'll mention a few of those, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. We'll play at least one or two Bengals tailgates down at the Banks where it's a big old crowd there. We play the Oktoberfest stages, Cincinnati, which, if you don't know, the Oktoberfest here is the second biggest in the world. We tend to headline the Saturday nights there, which is always huge. Takes us to Cincinnati, and then when we travel, it's, a lot of built-in crowd, packed places. And so, yes.
Yes, we said beer, Chris.
Talking about music, let's talk about the beer.
We are talking about music, but we're talking about the beer as well, because the beer is going to be the highlight of the day, and then kind of like ice the cake with all the musical artists they're going to be playing there with you. So, Brad, you guys have done a lot, and that's great to hear. And certainly, I'd love to hear more from Ryan too up there. Ryan, some of the things you've done in your career, as you say, the low-hanging fruit career. We're gonna call it that. All right.
I guess it's probably a bad choice of words, but I was writing very bad songs when I first got started. I could barely play the guitar, and I was already try to play songs and write them. So I'm a melody guy and things like that. But yeah, I do some shows in Madison Theater, Madison Live around town, the Cabin Fever Festival in Ludlow, Kentucky, where I'm originally from, up here in the north. I guess one of the biggest stages I had, I sang national anthem before up in Syracuse for the Mets, the AAA team. So that was kind of like a whim thing that I kind of just got thrown into, but I was like, I'll do it. What the heck? I like to push myself and have some fun while I do it. I can remember some of my first shows, man, people would be playing with, and then they'd be like, try this song. I'm like, all right, man, I'll give you the poor man's version of it, but here it comes.
Well, you sound like my kind of guy. I mean, I like somebody that doesn't take it too serious either. I mean, there's a serious side to music, and certainly doing a good job and being a professional band or musician, but it's also like when I go see Audio Graffiti, those guys have a blast on stage. I mean, they're enjoying themselves as much as the audience is. And I think, Bill, you've put together a lineup here of people that seem to be the ones who are going to interact with the crowd the most and get that crowd pumped up. Can you run down the list of musicians one more time? I see we got a question out there from David. I want to make sure we talk about who's playing this event in its entirety, Bill.
Yeah, so doors open around 2 for anybody with a VIP ticket. Brad will be starting right at 2. General admission tickets start at 3. So Ryan will start right after Brad is over. And then we got Hillary Hahn. Great.
She's great.
Girl. She's a teacher, so unfortunately she's in class right now, or she'd be here with us. But she'll follow that, and then we'll have our Steinhoist competition, which will be right around 6:00. And then Bronson Arroyo's band will go on around 6:30. Like I said, we'll wrap things up around 8, kind of turn over the festival grounds, and then we'll finish the night off with Audio Graffiti.
Perfect. What a great lineup, man.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, into the night with Audio Graffiti. That'll be a great one as well, Brad. And I know you guys will bring it as you always do. And Ryan, you're coming up just for Saturday, or are you up here for the weekend? You going to hang out
all weekend? Yeah.
Good deal.
Got some other gigs booked throughout the weekend. So
Oh, doing the routing thing. I see. Yeah, that works. That works. Let's talk about Nashville for just a second. We got a minute or two to add. You're down there playing in Nashville. You say you're doing singer songwriting and you go to some writers rounds and all that. You were telling me before we went live. What's the Nashville experience like for you?
I mean, I've loved it, man. I've learned a lot. It was a learning curve when I first went down there. There's some monsters down there, everybody's talented, but the way I look at it, it pushes you and you either learn to swim. And also there's access to everything you need down there, which is kind of nice. I mean, there's a lot of competition, but it brings the best out of you. I've loved it. I've had a great experience there. It's a bit of a grind, don't get me wrong, but I definitely enjoy it and wouldn't want to be in a better place. So.
Yeah, and we were talking. A lot of people go down and they go to the Broadway thing, and if you're into music, the music, I want to encourage people to go more than just the Broadway experience in Nashville, because that's a unique animal down there, and it's a lot of high end, hurry up, play, and you see musicians bouncing from one gig to the next, walking down the street with their amp and their guitar in their hand. But if you get off the path a little bit in Nashville, I've really had some great experience there, I think, Ryan, with the smaller venues and listen to people just pour their soul out on stage and sing those songs they've written. And do you find that to be a better experience for you out and about?
Yeah. I mean, I like them both. Like I said, I do a little bit of it all down there. I mean, Broadway can't beat the crowd, can't beat the energy, The money's better. And, I mean, I always push people towards, like, there's a place called the Listening Room and then the Bluebird. Bluebird's the one that got famous on the Nash show, but it's hard to get into. But there's another place called the Listening Room. I played there, and there's one in Pigeon Forge as well. And it's a few blocks off Broadway, and you go in there and you listen to some really talented singer-songwriters. It's almost like a comedy setting where you're sitting at a table and just listen. It's a nice little break from it, and that's where you really hear the story behind the songs. Like, I like telling my story. That's why I'm a songwriter, I guess, and then and then performing it right afterwards. So I really enjoy that part of it. So I love both worlds, man. So I just love performing, to be honest with you, man.
Got you covered.
Songwriting, the performance. So
I'd love to see you play, man. You sound like a fun guy on stage and like you enjoy yourself a whole lot. And Brad, tell me where's your favorite remote place to go play out of Cincinnati?
I mean, we mentioned Key West already, so but that's probably where I like to go the most. I've been down there, been going down there for so long. I have a lot of friends there now. It's such a welcoming place. It's such a unique place to go anyway, and then much less to go down and play and be a part of the scene. You walk in and the first thing people say is "Welcome home." You're not a visitor. You kind of belong there, and it's a good feeling. So, I mean, we're going. We play at Sloppy Joe's next Wednesday through the Tuesday. So I'm heading down on this coming Tuesday, and I look forward to just showing up. Popping my face in a couple places, and they treat you like family, and so it's the camaraderie down there and a good time. So I'd say Key West is probably my favorite place to go out of town to play. Yeah.
Do you guys fly down there, or do you drive?
So when I first started playing down there with my old band with Cherry on Top years ago, we drove, which is not recommended. We did that drive about 4 or 5 times, and finally we were like, okay, never mind. The advantages of driving with your stuff it was like, heck with it. So now we fly now. Sloppy's, most places like that, they provide pretty much everything you need except your instrument. So they've got amps, they've got drums, they've got everything you need. But and if you fly any reputable airline, they have to let you carry your instrument on. So you don't check a guitar ever. So
I was wondering. That's exactly what I was wondering.
yeah, no, never check a guitar because
They'll miss a trip.
they take
All you have to do is look out the window of the plane and watch those guys loading the bags on, and you know not to do that.
chucking
Right?
it down. It's like, oh boy. So yeah, don't do that.
Throw it like a javelin.
See, but basically you walk up. You can walk up to the door of the plane, basically, and it becomes like a baby stroller where they place it right underneath when you get on. They bring it right back up. You can get off. So it makes it easy. But I like to fly. I like to fly with my instrument, and I just like the whole experience of traveling and being on the road. And it's a heck of a lot better than riding in a band van. So,
all right, let me throw it over to Bill for a minute. Bill, the passion you have for this event, this has to take some incredible planning, first of all, to get that many people involved, that many bands and musical acts involved, and all that. Where do you get that energy and drive? Is this just like what you love to do, or what?
Yeah, I mean, on top of, we have about 35 weekly events between our trivia and bingo at various locations. We're adding more live music, more festivals, and that kind of stuff because, it is what I like to do. And then, of course, anything we can do to, I've got a big hole in my heart for, dogs. So, fortunately / unfortunately, I have my second foster here with me now. My first foster passed away in December, unfortunately. That's why I say that. But my new guy he's amazing. And, I got to the Cincinnati Animal Care. We were dropping off cheese and hot dogs for him back in January from a different event we did. And, man, I got there and got all the way to the end of the cages. And he just kind of looked at me and was like, dude, it smells in here and it's loud. Get me out of here. And I was like, all right. And he's laying right here on me right now. I could, he's
buddy,
he's the best dog ever. His name was Spectre. We added Harvey Spectre to him, from the show Suits, just because I didn't like Spectre. But yeah, Cincinnati Animal Care is great. So if you have an opportunity to go down there, they're doing an adoption event right now where it's only $10 to adopt a dog or a cat. But yeah, a portion of the proceeds will go to them. But yeah, we started the planning for this, kind of back in November. And we kind of, want to, ask Brad to do it because, I trust Brad to open the show and play for the VIPs. Obviously, he was with us last year. Cincy Music, Courtney there, who I love to death and known forever, actually recommended Hillary Hahn to me. So reached out to her, and I've actually had her booked quite a few times at other locations. And then, of course, I've known Ryan through the Lagoon Saloon and Zazu and all over the damn place for a while. And, wanted to add him. And, of course, we needed a headliner. Elliot Sloan of Blessing Your Souls was last year. So reached out to Bronson, wanted somebody that was kind of local, but, a good brand name, if you will, to kind of help us, push everything and obviously put on a good show. And then Element Eatery actually pushed for the after party with Audio Graffiti. So when they pushed for the after party, and of course I love Audio Graffiti just like you did. They're fantastic. So we got them to end the night, and that's of course, after 8 o'clock is when I'm going to be able to relax and enjoy some beer. So having some good music to listen to is going to be a plus. But yeah, Seth at OVI, I'll give him a shout out, and Matthew with Sam Adams have been fantastic. We're going to have about 35 of their flavors through that distributor. They help us with all of our posters and banners. And, if you saw the stage and the banners and everything, they're just fantastic. So Heidelberg and Ohio Valley take care of all that stuff for us. They're just fantastic. They've, like I said, Seth does a lot of stuff for us. But yeah, it's just, it's a matter of just reaching out, building relationships with people. And, like you said, we talked about yesterday, we're not one of those shady people that don't pay us. So it's not as hard as some would think to reach out and say, hey, do you have this date available? And, other people trust that you're going to do a good job. And I think we do a pretty good job. So,
That's all about relationships, man, and that's what it seems like you got going here with a lot of people,
even with
including
you.
the beer people.
I listen to your show regularly. I try to comment and add to you and Karis, and I think I've known you since it was like 2017, I think, and I've been listening to your show since then. So we appreciate you having us on and giving us an opportunity to chat about this because I love what you guys do too. So.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. And we love your comments, too. We love anybody that gets on that has a knowledge of what's going on out there in the real world and makes a comment about it. Let's wrap it up. We're running out of time. Let's wrap it up with a recap of what the event's going to be again and run that down, Bill. It's scrolling across the bottom, but go ahead and shout it out again.
Yeah, so it's Oakley Beer Fest. Yes, we know technically Element Eatery is in Madisonville by about 100 feet. Okay. So we know. You can still get tickets at cincyticket.com. VIP tables are still available. The advanced tickets will be available until Friday at 6 p.m. So go to Cincy Ticket, save yourself a couple bucks. You get 10 drink tickets, pretzels. If you need a bottle of water. Element Eatery will have a full bar. There's 9 different restaurants inside. Again, we've got Brad Martin, Hillary Hahn, Ryan, Alfred, Bronson Arroyo, and Audrey Graffidio playing. So it's a huge music lineup. Over 30 breweries, over 70 flavors to try. It's going to be a hell of a day. So, I'll be sacrificing a live chicken later on to make sure we have good weather. And,
yes, please.
Praying to Joe Boo or whoever you got to pray to. Make sure we have great weather, and we will. No doubt. So, come out, hang out, have a good time.
I'm praying the same way because I've got a 3-day event I'm emceeing this weekend as well, a festival, and and there's a lot of musicians hoping for some good weather as well there. So, Bill, that sounds excellent. I want you guys, if you will, please to follow Ryan. Here's some information about him at Ryan Alfred Music on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Can we name any more? I mean, that's a lot. Following me.
Yeah, all your basic your basic social media presences.
we always throw Farmers Only in there or something like that too. Just anywhere. Just type his name in and see what comes up, people. Ryan, it's been a pleasure to have you on today. I look forward to looking up your music and enjoying hearing you play. And then our friend Brad Martin down here at the bottom of the page as well. And he's there at bradmartinmusic.com. You can find him there. And he's got all kinds of other links on the Book of Face for his bands and projects. You can check him out there. Brad, thank you so much for being here today as well. Ryan, I hope to see you in Nashville sometime. I'll look you up there if I'm ever at that listening room. I'll see if you're around and playing something down there. And Bill, thank you for bringing this to the table today.
Appreciate it. I love it. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to get out of here, everybody. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, and we'll be mentioning this again tomorrow on the show, live at 5. It's Who's Playing Out in the Tri-State, brought to you by our friends at Heather's Cafe. Love to have you watching tomorrow at 5 and hear the best bands and musicians and venues in the area, guys. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time here at All Around Town Radio. Say bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Everybody.
Stay with me, guys. I'll be right with you.